Please note that the MT12 was supplied for review by RadioMaster. Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. As you can see from that intro, RadioMaster have launched a new radio, the MT12. Now this is for surface models, so for boats and for cars, model cars. Now it comes with EdgeTX. Now if you are used to buying RC cars that just come with the remote control, you probably don't know what EdgeTX. Now it's a open source firmware, so there is a bit of a learning curve with it if you buy this radio, but I'm going to produce a series of tutorial videos to help you know how to program this. I'm not going to go into that in this review, but they later will be coming. So if you decided to give this radio a go, I would be able to help you program it for your cars. The radio comes with Express LRS or MPM, which is Multi-Protocol Module. Now, if you're not used to knowing what these are, the MPM allows you to bind your radio to an immense amount of different types of protocols, different types of receivers. So you could buy this one radio and link it to a lot of receivers. Now with the Express LRS, this is one type of protocol. Now it was designed and it's still being developed by the developers, and it's an open source software. So, and this is a long range system, and it's been designed for model aeroplanes and for drones. So now they've offered it for car users. Now again, I've got tutorial videos showing you how to set this up, so that if you wanted to buy this radio, I would be able to help you with this. So anyway, that's things out of the way. Let's have a closer look at it. Let me turn it on for you. Go there. And as you can tell, it actually, when it starts up, it says "Welcome to EdgeTX." Now this radio has one 3-position switch, 3 momentary switches, and 2 rotary switches with indents. There's also an optional joystick. Now if we look here, hopefully this will focus. This plate here comes off, and you can put this joystick option in, or a 2-button, let me just do this, a plate with 2 buttons. It's easy to wire up. I'm going to show you a picture up on the screen which will show you where you plug it in, and that's very simple to add to the radio. There are 5 trim tabs, and they are here. Now hopefully you'll hear this. You can hear the trim tab, and then when it's centered it tells you center. There are 4 of those for your normal channel 1, 2, 3 and 4, but there is here, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that, but there's another trim tab there for servo, for channel number 5. And of course the important bits, here's where we steer the cars. We've got our steering wheel here, and then the trigger there, which I'm hoping will focus on. There's your trigger. So back is forward of the car, and push forward will go into reverse. There's also at the bottom, I'm going to try and get that in there, you'll see there's adjustments here for your tension of your throttle. Now let me show you where the buttons on the radio are, just roughly. We've got 2 here and here. We have 2 rotary switches with indents, so we can turn and come back to the center. We then have a push button here. You can see on the bottom of the radio, a momentary switch there. We have another momentary switch here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that. So you can click that one, and we have a 3-position switch here. I'm going to try and get that to focus. There we go. And you can hear I've set that up to be armed and disarmed, and that will disarm the throttle so that your car doesn't go whizzing off if you accidentally push the accelerator. Now let's take a look at the bottom. If I take this plate off, you can see here, let's get that to focus. There we go. You can see the 2 18650 batteries. The radio doesn't come with those. You have to buy the batteries, but the battery box there, you can see, which obviously can be taken out, that you do get that, but not the batteries. You have to supply your own batteries. If you don't want to use 18650 batteries, you can actually purchase from RadioMaster a lithium-ion battery, which is a 5000 milliamp hour battery, and it's a 2S. The charge rate for the MT12 is a maximum of 2 amps. Now let's take a look at where all the different sockets and plugs are for the radio. If we have a look at the bottom here, let me try and get that to focus. You can see this port here, this USB-C port, is used to charge it. So we can plug that into basically any normal mobile phone charger, and that will charge the batteries. Then we've got a panel here, which I'm hoping you can see. Let me just undo this. And we are going to go to a close-up picture of this, and I will tell you what each of these plugs does. So the first one is our DSC plug. Now that is for if you want to do a buddy cord system for helping someone to learn to drive the model cars or the boat, and then you can set the radio up so that you can let the student have control and they'll all take the control back. Then we've got another USB-C port. Now this is where we update the firmware, the EdgeTX firmware that's in this radio, or if we want to access the SD card, which this radio has. So you will plug into this one, not to charge, but to actually update the firmware, which I will produce videos for to show you how to do that if you need help. Then the next one along is where you can put your headphones into. And then we've got a 3-pin plug, which has got a plus minus and a signal, which is an auxiliary plug that we can plug into. Now let's have a look at the front. I want to show you this. Let me get this to focus. I have to get me out of it. If we turn this, that's our antenna. Now with Express LRS, you need your antennas to be aligned. So if you had a model car with an antenna sticking up like this pen, then you would aim this antenna that way so it matches the antenna. If the antenna happened to be lined that way, you will keep this way, and your antennas will be vertically or horizontally aligned. So that's why we can rotate this around. And as you can see, there's lots of LEDs on the radio, so they can be changed. We can program those to do different colors. Now let's have a look at the top of the radio. Now this, I will bring a picture up on screen and show you each one. But we've got our power button. As I said, this is going to be difficult. I don't think it's going to focus. We've got our power button, and then we've got our push buttons here, and we've got a rotary switch there, button that helps us. We can push that for enter, and we can rotate it so that we can choose our options on our radio. I'm going to try and see if you can see that screen. You can then see what we have on the screen. If I push the throttle, you'll see it should move there, and if I rotate the steering, you can see the graphic move to tell us that it's operating. Now in the tutorial videos I will go through all of this for you, because there's a system button, model buttons, and there's lots of things we can do. It's not worth going into that review. If you decide to buy this radio, you'll be able to get the tutorial videos, and I will show you how to use this. And I'm always here to message and say, can you help me? And I will do my best to try and help you. Now let's take a look at the accessories the radio comes with. You get an absolutely fantastic case to put the radio in. It's double-sided, so we got the radio goes into here, and the other side is where you can store things. So it has got a nice protective case, so when you're taking your model car out to race. Also, there's a screensaver. You won't be able to see that, but there's a little screensaver to help protect the screen of the radio. We've also got a lanyard strap. You can see there. Let's pop that there. And here, as I was saying earlier, on the front here, you can see I've installed this joystick, but we can put in this two position switch with 2 switches on it, which is quite useful. Now as you can see from there, all we need to do is slide this off. There's a panel on there, and you can see I've obviously taken the panel off. There's the panel, and then you wire this up, you push the wires through to the base, take the battery out, and then you can plug this in, and then you program it on the radio. And again, don't worry about that. I'll help you in the tutorial videos to do that. So that is that one. Obviously the transmitter comes with a receiver that you get. Now the one you receive is a 3-channel receiver. Now I'm going to show you a picture of it. I've installed it in an RC car, and it was very simple to do, and it's very tiny. So I'm going to put 2 pictures up. You're going to see what the car, the original one, had, and then the Express LRS one, which is very, very small. Now again, I mentioned earlier about the Multiprotocol module. If you have that version, there are all different types of receivers that you could get. You could obviously buy different brands and different protocols. Now onto this little trick that the MT12 has. RadioMaster have produced this clip here. Now all we do is, I'm going to try and get this to focus. You see that this little bump here, if we take that off, I'm not going to, it's a little bit difficult, and I don't blame them, it's quite tight to get off. And you can see there now. Let's try and get that to focus. Now all we need to do is plug this plate into that. I'm not going to push it in. You can see it there. If I push that, let me push it down. There we go. And you can see now we've got this adapter. Now this is a JR bay. So we now can take this Express LRS radio and attach an MPM unit to a module here. This is a multi-protocol module. All we would do is we'd slide that onto here, and let me do that. And there we go. It now makes it quite big. Now what we can do is, if we buy another model that's already got a receiver in it and the multi-protocol module covers that, we would be able to install this and then connect it to those cars as well. Okay, this will be another expense. You can buy this from RadioMaster. I've already got one, but you could do that, and now you've got the best of both worlds. My opinion is, if you were starting out, I had a subscriber ask me about this who is new to the RC hobby of flying, and I said to them, look, if you haven't got any receivers or anything now, I would go for the Express LRS version rather than the MPM. But if you are going to think of buying other cars and don't want to replace the receivers, then you could go for this option as well, add that on. Or of course just buy the radio that's a multi-protocol module radio. Your MT12 does come with a quick start guide and also a sticker pack, because who doesn't like stickers, and I've plastered those all over my car. You'll see at the end of the video, you'll see me just tootling around with a RC car that I put this system into. Now let's take a closer look at the receiver supplied with the MT12. It's the ER3C-I. Now you'll notice there's no antenna on the receiver. That's because inside is a ceramic antenna, so you don't need to have one. And you notice how small it is compared to the one that was supplied with the model card that I purchased to do this review. But also, RadioMaster are not just sitting there with that. They've made 2 other receivers. Now I'm going to show you them. They are, one is a 5-channel and one is a 6-channel, and I just want to show you, and hopefully you can see this through the packet. You can see there's an antenna on this one. There's the antenna. Now that would give you more range than the ceramic antenna, as far as I am aware of. Now you can see the next one, and you can see there is no antenna on this. This wire I'm going to explain in just a little while. So you've got 2 options. You've got one with the antenna. Now I would say, just in my experience, that one with the antenna, you'd use that for a yacht, a sailing yacht, or something that could go a really long distance, I would say, even though the ceramic one will go a long way. And the other one you've got here, you would use that in a car or something closer, a little tugboat on a pond or something. Now, I know this is a review of the actual product, but what I want to do, I'm going into a bit more detail on the firmware that's used for these systems to help you make a decision on whether you actually want to get one or not. Now, what's really cool, if you buy your model RC car, now I'm definitely not an expert on this or anywhere near it, I assume you don't get telemetry back. Now, telemetry is where the receiver in your RC vehicle, car or boat, a plane sends back information to you. Now that's what this little wire is for there. This wire supplied here. What you do, I'm going to go show you a picture of what I did with my car. I solder that into the ESC plug so that when the battery's plugged in, you can actually send back telemetry to your radio that tells you how much voltage your drive battery on your car has, which is obviously very useful because it means you can push the battery to, I never push my batteries to the limit, but to close to it, and so you get as much fun as you possibly can from that charge, and that's what that wire is. Again, videos coming up, I'll show you how to program that into the radio, and also it can give you alerts, so you're having a whale of a time bombing your car around, and it will warn you. It'll come back and say, hey, battery low, warns you, okay, you better bring it back in or stop it so you don't overstress your battery. So that's a nice feature that you have within Express LRS and within EdgeTX. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. I have put this radio into a car. It's obviously, for me, it's very easy to program because I'm used to it for the model aeroplanes and drones, which are a little bit more sophisticated programming you need than probably for a model car. But I do like the radio. I think it's good. I'm an avid RC pilot for drones and aeroplanes, but I'm definitely going to now go into cars and probably boats as well. I'd like to try that out, and that's because of this radio. I feel the quality of it is good. It's got a fantastic screen at the top to tell you what's going on. If I can dim this a bit, so let me just, so you can have a good look at that. You can see it's got a very nice screen. It's everything seems to be in the right place. Loads of buttons so that if you did a tank or something, you want to be able to fire it. You'd got all the switches you need on this to do that. So in my opinion, it's a good radio. I've not this for longevity. I haven't tested this for days and days and weeks and months, but I have tested other RadioMaster products and they have been very good. I really don't have a bad word to say about them, to be quite honest. And now, the question I always ask myself when I do these reviews is, would I buy this product? Well, I definitely would. I'll definitely buy it. There's nothing in it that I don't like. I've got the advantage that I know about Express LRS and EdgeTX, how to program it. That could be a little bit of a hill to climb for new RC car drivers, but there are lots of people out there, including me, who are here to help you to program that so that you can enjoy it. So yes, I would buy this with my own money, that's for sure. I do hope you found this review useful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below, because I will definitely try to assist you. And if you've got something if you buy the MT12 and you want to know how to do something, just drop me a line in the comment and say, I need to be able to do this, and I will assist you. I'm actually going to be filming this afternoon a video for someone who's asked me a question, so I will try and do that. But I apologise if I can't get back straight away, because I do have a day job. And so sometimes I can't answer your questions immediately, but I always do my best to answer as quickly as I possibly can. Happy flying. Bye for now.